The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available on Amazon.
The Mike Wagner Show, also brought to you by Illuminical, the think tank of the future. The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, available on Amazon, highlighting the Book of David, and Heidi Tam Music, with her latest on HeidiTamMusic.com.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosinzia Missing, also brought to you by Illuminical, the think tank of the future, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, now available on Amazon, also Heidi Tam Music, check out our latest at HeidiTamMusic.com. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's a Canadian pop rock singer-songwriter from Toronto and currently studying at the Queensuniversity for a Bachelor of Science honors and minoring in music. And he's 17 years experience in the piano, beginning at 5, taking piano lessons, and he's been influenced by 60s music with numerous followers on Spotify, YouTube, and also Reverb Nation and more. He's got a brand new release called The Man Who's Never Found from the Everest release, plus many more. He also had some side projects as well, too, which got him on the ground. Live, ladies and gentlemen, plus dudes in beautiful downtown Toronto, the amazing Canadian pop rock singer-songwriter from the wonderful Second City with The Man Who's Never Found. Ladies and gentlemen, we found him, the amazing Michael Zuzek. Michael, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Mike. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Michael. So you're a Canadian pop rock singer-songwriter from Toronto. You're currently studying at the Queensuniversity for a Bachelor of Science honors, minor in music. You have 17 years experience on the piano. You began at 5, taking piano lessons. You've been influenced by 60s music with numerous followers on Spotify, YouTube, and more. And you have a release called The Man Who's Never Found from the Everest album, which is currently out right now, and also you had some other projects. And before getting to all that, Michael, tell us how you first got started.
Well, my kindergarten teacher, what happened was she thought I was a bright student. She told my mom that, and my mom decided, well, what does that mean? What should we do? And she said, well, I'm a piano teacher, registered, so I can teach your son lessons if you think that'd be something, you'd be interested in him doing for his life. It's great for the brain. It's just great for everything, really. It gets kids out of their shell. It gets kids to connect both sides of their brain. And that's how I started with her, Mrs. Kerwin. So that kind of started all off. And then I bounced around, had another teacher, Stacy Shalou, when I had to do some more advanced stuff. And then COVID came and I just started playing rock and roll. And that's been that since.
I thought it was running from teacher to teacher to teacher to the teacher, and then COVID hit. You kind of changed direction, and besides COVID, what other one precise moment that simply influenced you, what you're doing for the rest of your career?
It's a good question, really. Maybe honestly, it was first getting involved, and then kind of COVID changing everything, being like, well, what do you want to do? My piano teacher asked me that one time. She said, do you still want to play this Royal Conservatory of music, stuff, which I love, Beethoven and Mozart and Bach, but I didn't really care to keep playing that. I wanted to play some songs I liked. And I was like, yeah, I think that's what I want to do. And that kind of changed everything. And then I was playing like 6 hours a day during COVID because I didn't have to go to school. So I just got really good and I got comfortable. And then I started writing songs and then haven't looked back, really.
That's amazing, too. And, of course, being on piano, going to rock and everything else, you've been influenced by 60s music. Who are some of your favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up, especially during that era?
The Beatles for sure are number one. Always will be for me. I love the Guess Who. I think they're like the Canadian Beatles.
Yes, that's one of my favorites. Yes.
Yeah. Burton and Bachman were king for sure. And then I also love the band, of course. I feel like a few of my songs get some sonic influences from them. But yeah, that's probably my big three. I love Zeppelin too, of course. But I think McCartney and Lennon really kind of set the stage for how everyone should write, and then that challenged people in the professional world of editing and recording to actually challenge them and how they should record and how they should produce. So in tandem, I think the Beatles kind of set the stage for everything that's ever been done sonically since the 60s.
And you also have some music yourself too, and you also started with Ulysses from the motion picture soundtrack, and tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so that was one of my best friends, Martin. He and a few of my other best friends own a production company called Fairfield Productions, and they do short films every summer. Last summer I starred in one, and the first one they did was 2 summers ago. It's called Ulysses, and my friend Martin was like, "Hey, do you want to do the score for this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I could do that." And I just play on the piano behind me, and I'd be like, "What do you like about this? What don't you like?" And I kind of came up with something that I thought fit visually. And it was a really cool experience because it's not just me writing what I want to write about or play what I want to play or sing what I want to sing about. It was like, how does what I see on screen translate to what you should hear, right? So that was really fun. It's challenging, but it's cool. It was a very good start to everything, I think.
And certainly did as well, too. And you also got your start with Graystone, All Comes Back, 5,000 Days and More, and especially The Man Who's Never Found from Everest. We'll talk more about that with the amazing Michael Zuzek. But first, you listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Melson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Melson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love you to first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Melson-Zia has garnered great reviews. In Evil Love endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today of 4 Girls Missing by Mia Melson-Zia, available on Amazon and coming soon to Amazon and others as well too. Missing 2 and What's Going to Happen Double, you'll find out soon on Amazon as well. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Elliptical, the think tank of the future, bringing scientists and engineers together from all over the world, creating a method to construct a renewable generator. And this unique product operates on a closed-loop system, generates more energy and power than you can imagine as well. The electricity can be used to run everything from homes, power grids, phones, and also especially laptops. The power source is renewable, highly scalable, more importantly, self-regenerating. More information, visit facebook.com/Elliptical. That's facebook.com/ELLUMENIPTICAL. Also, Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by the Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of King David, including 30 exquisite paintings and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote, and this time as a shepherd where it all started, and his complicated and turbulent relation with King Saul. Is a story of love, repentance, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also brought to you by Heidi Tan Music, featuring the smash hit Baby Comeback and new music coming soon. Listen for details at HeidiTanMusic.com. Also, take the Mike Wagner Show out there on any device, heard on over 40 countries and on 100 platforms. And for countries, should say, for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, hoodies, tote bags, and more. Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, visit Amazon.com/Mia Melson-Zia for great books, merchandise, more, and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal as well. We're with the multi-talented Canadian pop rock singer Michael Zuzek here on the Mike Wagner Show with The Man Who's Never Found from the release Everest. And before getting all that, you also did Graystone, All Comes Back, 5,000 Days, Scottssong, Sweet and Kind, and more. And tell us more about those.
Well, yeah. So Graystone was the first single of the album, and as you said, Man Who's Never Found was the second. And as well as all those other songs you mentioned, they were written not in any particular order that they've been released or that they appear on the album, but just it's a bunch of different memories and different thoughts and emotions that were, collectively put together and put into words and put into lyrics and put into, sounds and whatnot. And that is kind of what fueled Everest. But Graystone in particular was very special because it was kind of one of the first songs I really was like, oh, I can talk about my growing up and kind of like my childhood and whatnot. And that was written in my best friend's room, which was nice. And then Man Who's Never Found as well was one of the first songs that I wrote on my piano. And I looked at it and I saw, I actually really like that one. And then I would scroll up on my lyrics because I have them on my phone, and I'd see songs above it. And it's like, once I did this one, everything else under it was kind of pretty good. And I kind of got into a rhythm, a big flow. Yeah. It kind of unlocked something.
And of course, you also had All Comes Back, 5,000 Days, Scotty's Song, Sweet and Kind, and a bit about those.
Well, Scotty's Song, so that is my best friend Scott, the one that I wrote Graystone in his room. He came to me with a song and said, hey, I got this song. What do you think of them? We worked together. We finished the chord progression. I did the lyrics, but I told him, like, hey, those two songs are genius, but they would be even better together. The first part and the outro. And he said, yeah, I guess they would, but they're in two different keys. And I was like, dude, you got to put them together. So I figured out how to put them together, and it really turned out well. All Comes Back, he wrote that one with me as well. We did it here in the basement. And then also writing credits go to the great late Robbie Robertson of the band, as a bit of a similar melody to there and chord progression. But that one, I really like that one. I just like the rocking aspect of that one. And Sweet and Kind was always one of those songs that I really liked. And I always liked the lyrics. I thought that was one of my best lyrical works. But I didn't think people would like it as much as people do. So I'm really glad they do, actually. And then 5,000 Days, I was just upstairs and I thought, I need a good rock song. I came downstairs. I was like, okay, here's the key and let's do it. And I had it written in 20 minutes and I really like it.
I thought you took you 5,000 Days right there. So what does it mean behind 5,000 Days?
Well, the way I did it was I wanted to tell some story. I always want to tell some story, even if it's not anything personable, just the idea of storytelling I've always liked. And so what I did was I thought, okay, let's use numbers descending and ascending just to tell a story of whatever's going on. So I told the story of love and, challenges in heartbreak and all that. And I kind of liked it a lot, and it kept going. And I got to the second verse. I'm like, okay, instead of going down, we're just going to count up, and it kept getting better and better. And then I started throwing some sounds in there. I put a Moog synthesizer trying to sound a little bit like 80s rock, and then some of the stuff is almost like 70s rock and 60s rock, and it all melds together pretty cool, I think.
You mentioned something about the 60s influence, having the sounds, the moods, and everything like that. And which particular 60s group that you associate with, like 60s, 70s, and 80s, like, what music group, what engineer, what producer, everything like that? It's like, who does it remind you of, or who do you like, mold it to, or somewhere along those lines?
Well, I spent, before I started learning production, because I co-produced and co-mastered the album with my good friend Aiden Ellison. Before I started trying to learn how to produce, I would spend lots of time watching videos and doing master classes, and I learned a lot of things, and I realized that a lot of the techniques we do today were invented by a lot of engineers at Abbey Road Studios, like Jeff Emmerich was a sound engineer for the Beatles, and of course the great George Martin there. He really helped the four lads from Liverpool get everything done. And so I think that aspect always stuck with me. And I thought, okay, if there's one thing I'm going to do, I can do vocals really well and I can mix them really well. So I think the Beatles kind of vocal style is kind of what I always went for. And then instrumentally, I think maybe I kind of stuck more to the more powerful songs of the 70s, trying to get my piano to really cut through, like in some of Jeff Lynne's ELO productions, stuff like that. I love Led Zeppelin drums, so some of the songs come through on there, and I think they sound pretty good. I think you can hear within different songs I'm going for different eras. Even like Sweet and Kind, I kind of went for like a Paul Simon kind of 80s production. It's a little softer, but it can get big and it can get small, and there's so many sounds that fit through and whatnot.
Now, was this before or after Graystone when you talk about Paul Simon?
I think Sweet and Kind would have been written after Graystone. So I think I really kind of identified towards the later aspects of the song making and song production process of what I wanted to sound like. And I would listen. I have so many records that I listen to, and I would think, okay, that sounds really good. I already have this part recorded, but I can use this influence from this song. Like, for example, a Paul Simon song, I used You Can Call Me Al kind of as inspiration for Sweet and Kind, how everything is on the sides and bam, 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 kind of just.
Oh, yeah, I love that album. Graystone, that was my number one. Saw him in Chicago back in the day. Oh, my God. Yeah,
it's a brilliant album, and stuff like that really influenced me. So I think Sweet and Kind was after Graystone. And like I said, Graystone and Man Has Never Found kind of showed me like, oh, I can write like this. And Graystone showed me, oh, I can produce like this. And then as I got towards the end of making and producing the album, I was like, I can take snippets and really like focus in on them and make them sound good based on how I want them to sound.
You have mentioned about the man who's never found, and explain the meaning of the man who's never found.
Good question. There isn't really one. I think what I wanted to do was I wanted a good 60s kind of rock song. I wanted a good chord progression, and I got a fair amount of inspiration on that one from just Bob Dylan's kind of sound and the way a lot of his records sound. Maybe like I Want You. I think that one was kind of influential for that track. Same with Visions of Johanna. I love the piano on there and how it's kind of layered and everything. So I thought, I just want a simple chord progression, but I want something that can change and can evolve. And then I wanted just to ramble. I wanted to lyrically ramble, kind of how Bob does a fair amount. So I started doing that, and I will always just sit there and I'll just play through the chord progression, boom and boom and boom. And maybe I'll come up with the melody, but the lyric isn't there. But then once I have something I like, I can go and I can come up with it. So I think that one as well, I was just trying to tell a story of, don't be an idiot. If you love someone, love them,
Well, I think we found the answer right there, Michael. Just got to say that other man did never find it. We found it right here.
I agree.
And if there's other music you want to talk about we haven't mentioned, feel free to talk more as well.
Let's see. I think, there's one cool story I've been talking about a lot. It's the second last song on the album. It's I'd Love to Have Your Loving Back Again. And I really like that song because I had a wide range of songs at the time. But I didn't have anything that kind of sort of fit like 70s piano, right? Which is kind of like, I don't know, Elton John, and also some of those big Eagles hits, and obviously what Lennon was doing solo and what McCartney was doing solo. And I was like, I just want a really good piano riff. And I was in my sleep. I was sleeping. It must have been like about 3 a.m. up in my house at school. And I came up with the melody for that song, just the right. I was like, whoa, I got to get up on the piano. What is that? Find it. I found it. I wrote maybe just the chorus. I went to bed. And then that song carried on. That was a long production. That one took over a year.
Oh my
doing
gosh.
The drums, getting the guitars, getting the piano to sound right. I must have done like 20 takes on the piano trying to get it to sound perfect and to get the structure of it perfect. And so I'm really happy with that one. And even the vocal aspect of that one, it's very full. It's very 70s. It's that's a really well done 70s production, I think.
And it sounds like it too. And of course, more with Michael Zuzek as well. What's coming up with the amazing multi-talented Canadian pop rock singer-songwriter from Toronto? We'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Studios. Brought to you by our official sponsor, The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Missing. Also brought to you by Illumnifical, the think tank of the future. The sweet songs by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, on Amazon and HeidiTanMusic.com. Check out her latest at HeidiTanMusic.com. We'll be back with the amazing multi-talented Michael Zuzek after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, I'm Burl Baird, legendary American author, and I'm here to tell you about Missing, the new mystery suspense novel by Mian Mosensia. It's really a good book. Very surprising. Never metaphor I didn't like, especially in this book. Here you have a main character whose life has been filled with despair. His wife died in 9/11. His young daughter died of a rare disease. He's not a happy camper. What does he do for a living? He's a physical fitness trainer. When somebody hardly knows, somebody who's never met, he only has encountered them on an internet chat line, goes missing, this is his journey. He's going to go rescue them. This is his search for redemption, his search for his own personal promised land. He couldn't do anything about the death of his wife, the death of his child, but maybe he could rescue this woman he's never met. That is, if she exists. Missing by Mian Mosensia, international in scope, vastly entertaining, full of surprises. I suggest you get it, neither paperback or an electronic edition for your Kindle. Missing by Mian Mosensia.
Baby, come back.
Heidi Tan has a new release, the remake of Player's Baby Come Back.
Spending all my nights, all my money going out of the town.
With special guest, international recording artist Nils on guitar. And now with her own twist on the classic comes Heidi Tan 2023.
Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see.
She delivers the punch you'd expect from a seasoned pro with this arrangement of Baby Come Back. Destined to be a chart topper, Heidi Tan, Baby Come Back.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Illuminatical, the think tank of the future. Illuminatical, a human think tank that brings scientists and engineers together from all over the world, has created a method to construct a renewable generator with this in mind. This unique product operates on a closed-loop system that generates more energy internally than it needs to function. The extra electricity can be used to run everything from homes and power grids to phones and laptops. This power source is entirely renewable, highly scalable, and more importantly, self-regenerating. For more information, visit facebook.com/Illuminatical. That's facebook.com/ELLUMENIPTICAL today. The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book. Through the Psalms he wrote, his time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases Him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to The Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back, amazing Canadian pop rock singer-songwriter from Toronto, Michael Zuzek, here on the Mike Wagner Show. We talked about The Man Who's Never Found from the Everest release, and of course, you mentioned about you being in school and everything. As soon as you graduate from Queen's University, what do you plan on doing afterwards?
Yeah, great question. So I'm going to go back to school in about a week, and I'll play lots of shows up there. I'm hoping to get some piano residencies that may not even include me singing, just may include me playing the piano, which I really love to do. Although I do love to sing, I love to play more. But once I'm back, what's going to happen is I'm going to be releasing a live album from the album release party I hosted in August for the release of Everest. So that'll be released alongside a possibly 1 hour to 2 hour documentary of what happened on the day of the show, like setting up the band being together, the whole concert being filmed. And everything.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, I got a great group of people around me, a great crew that just take care of me. And so we got a lot of things coming in that regard. And once I'm back from school, I'll be touring. I'll be touring a bunch of old songs here, probably some new songs I'll have done by then as well. And I'll just be touring across Ontario, and maybe I'll expand it. Who knows? Oh, that'd be great. We're certainly looking forward to it. Where can we find your music? Where can we find Everest? Where can we find The Man Who's Never Found? And especially all your works there. Where can we find you? Well, if you want to find Everest, you can go on any streaming platform, whether that's Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, whatever you please. You can just search in my name, Michael Zuzek. It'll come up. You can search Everest. It'll come up. Any of the songs we talked about, it'll come up. And if you want more, you can go to my website, michaelzuzek.com. Rather simple. And in there, you'll find all my links. You'll find, again, all the music. You'll find my business email if people wish to contact me. As well, you can find my Instagram. The Instagram, I don't reply to that as much as I do on my website and my personal email, but I will always post all my updates of what I'm doing, what's going on, where I'll be playing, if new music is coming, all that. So that Instagram and Facebook are Michael Zuzek. Everything is rather simple. All right, well, certainly check that out. We're here with the multi-talent Michael Zuzek of The Man Who's Never Found from Everest on the Mike Wagner Show. I'll play at the end of the audio interview as well, too. And a couple of things, Michael, love to have you back. Who do you consider biggest influences in your career? Oof, biggest influence in my career. Influences, yes. Influences in my career. I mean, obviously, sonically, it's always going to be the Beatles. They're number one for me. But maybe biggest influences, I had a lot of good teachers growing up, a lot of good coaches growing up, dedicate so much to my family and my parents and friends and everything. But I think when I was young and I was getting into high school, I learned that if you want something, you can go get it. And that was a basketball player, Russell Westbrook. Yes. Was it Oklahoma City Thunder? Yeah. I started watching the year Russ won MVP. So he was always my childhood hero. And his slogan was, why not? Right? Like, why can't it be me? Why not? Right? So I always carried that through. And I think that is always going to be a big influence of mine. And I was a pretty good high school football player. And I carried off of that into this. And I think that's because I just say, why not? Why not? Just go for it, Anyone
That's
can do it.
interesting. Talk about Russell Westbrook. I thought you'd be talking about somebody from the Toronto Raptors or the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Raptors. I loved that championship they got in the 2019 season. I think that's one of the best NBA championship teams ever. I love basketball. I love football, but I got a toque when I was a kid, and my mom got it for me just when I got into high school. I needed a toque because I didn't have anything, and she didn't want me to freeze, obviously. And it was an Oklahoma City Thunder toque, and I went, okay, because I just got into basketball. First game I watched was 2016 Game 7, the Cavs versus the Warriors there. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to pick a team, and I didn't pick the Raptors for some reason, and I got the hat, and it was like, boom, love at first sight, and I still like Oklahoma to this day. I will always love Russ.
There you go, and that's a great thing as well, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
To give to anybody?
In general?
In general, I'd say just be kind. Be kind, love people, be happy. You're going to be all right.
And I think that's a really good advice as well, too. So as Russ Westbrook would say, why not? So
yeah, why not?
You got that right. We're here with the multi-talent Michael Zuzek of The Man Who's Never Found here on the Mike Wagner Show. Michael, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'll love to have you back. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your music?
You can go right on over to michaelzuzek.com. That's the website. And on any streaming service, Michael Zuzek, and Instagram as well, Michael Zuzek. That's it. Thank you very much, Mike.
And once again, the website?
michaelzuzek.com.
All right. We want everybody to go to that right now. Once again, Michael, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all the best. And Michael, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you very much.
Walk along this lonely road. He kicks up dust and turns it into gold. Picks up the ring he thought was stone, with bold engravings to remind him what he's owed. To gather shelter in her eyes, they keep him warm and sympathize. The posture straight, he was surprised when he caught her laying in that crowd of lies. I saw you there crying, and you know that I'd be lying if I didn't want to join. There's a peace that can't be won, a heart that brings them down, never to be found. It brings them hate from me. Don't bother to be him, the man who's never found. She's locked in a bottle when it's a hard pill to swallow, but he knows she's not coming home. She's got a home with bigger walls and bigger dolls and taller ceilings for it all to unfold. She let it roll. She let it roll right through her back door in the station of all she used to hold. Well, now she holds that little ring with a bold engraving, screaming, Lord, why do I have to be alone? Whoa, all alone. She's all alone with no one here. No one hears the sound of her teardrops on the floor. There's a peace that can't be won, a heart that brings them down, never to be found. It brings them hate from me. Don't bother to be him, the man who's never found. No, there's fire in her eyes. She won't pass by like a sea. No, there's poison on his take her out and let her run, for she will find another one, yeah, yeah. Don't make like me, oh, I'm just a fool, oh, I'm just a fool who's trying never to be found. I'm not around, you know it's true, oh, I'm a fool. Walk down the road a mile to see where the police lay. Though it's long and wide, there's nowhere I wanna stay. I don't miss it anymore, I still cry from your face. The 501 is the route near mine, where me and Jack used to play. Though it's gone in memory, I remember what my mama said. I don't miss it anymore, I still cry from your face. If there's a reason not to pick me up, I bet you won't find you waiting here on the corner. I'm just waiting here in the dark, hoping that you'll pick me up when I'm a little older. Graystone's a peaceful home, but it torments me to this day. Yellow card with your name and heart still remains since you gone away. I don't miss it anymore, I still cry from your face. I said, I don't miss it anymore, I still cry from your face. I took a chance on my weather cap, and a voice that you said was good. As I walked by Bear and Ab, I saw you standing where I once stood, singing, I don't miss it anymore, I still cry from your face. You sang, I don't miss it anymore, I still cry from your face. If there's a reason not to pick me up, I bet you won't find you waiting here on the corner. Just waiting here in the dark, hoping that you'll pick me up when I'm a little older.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, I'm Burl Bear, legendary American author, and I'm here to tell you about Missing, the new mystery suspense novel by Mian Mosensia. It's really a good book. Very surprising. Never metaphor I didn't like, especially in this book. Here you have a main character whose life has been filled with despair. His wife died in 9/11. His young daughter died of a rare disease. He's not a happy camper. What does he do for a living? He's a physical fitness trainer. When somebody hardly knows, somebody he's never met, he only has encountered them on an internet chat line, goes missing, this is his journey. He's going to go rescue them. This is his search for redemption, his search for his own personal promised land. He couldn't do anything about the death of his wife, the death of his child, but maybe he could rescue this woman he's never met. That is, if she exists. Missing by Mian Mosensia, international in scope, vastly entertaining, full of surprises. I suggest you get it, neither paperback or an electronic edition for your Kindle. Missing by Mian Mosensia.
Baby, come back.
Heidi Tan has a new release, the remake of Player's Baby Come Back.
Spending all my nights, all my money going out of the town.
With special guest, international recording artist Nils on guitar. And now with her own twist on the classic comes Heidi Tan 2023.
Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see.
She delivers the punch you'd expect from a seasoned pro with this arrangement of Baby Come Back. Destined to be a chart topper, Heidi Tan, Baby Come Back.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Illuminatical, the think tank of the future. Illuminatical, a human think tank that brings scientists and engineers together from all over the world, has created a method to construct a renewable generator with this in mind. This unique product operates on a closed-loop system that generates more energy internally than it needs to function. The extra electricity can be used to run everything from homes and power grids to phones and laptops. This power source is entirely renewable, highly scalable, and more importantly, self-regenerating. For more information, visit facebook.com/Illuminatical. That's facebook.com/ELLUMENIPTICAL today. The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David's Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book. Through the Psalms he wrote, his time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases Him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.